And welcome aboard, everyone. It's the Donovan Live Postgame Show on WKYC's Facebook Live and also on YouTube, along with Jim Donovan on KG Tally. Now, I always like to say, if you watch this show, hopefully you learn something. We try to impart knowledge on you, or at least our thoughts that usually, our predictions that usually turn out to be, pretty on point. Case in point, what happened last night between the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, we could see that crumble a mile away with Kyrie and the Celtics. I mean, it was inevitable.
Yeah, it really was. And it was a terrible performance again last night by Kyrie. And I think he came out of the game with about 8 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah.
That's how decided the game was at that point. It was another horrible shooting night. He was the first off the bench into the Celtic locker room after the game. He did not rip his jersey off, as was done at the TD Garden when LeBron took his jersey off and symbolizing that he was leaving the Cavaliers. But it was everything but that. And I think in Boston, they are, expecting to wash their hands of him. We'll see what happens, what he's going to do, but all signs point that he's going to leave. A lot of great players have worn that uniform, okay? A lot of great players have worn that uniform. It's unbelievable. One of the greatest, passed away recently, John Havlicek, wore that Celtic uniform. And Kyrie wore that uniform and did not wear it well.
No.
Now, last year he was injured, but this year was a total wipeout, washout. I mean, it really was. To the point where the Celtics now are really a mess because they don't know what to do. Do they trade for Anthony Davis? Because they can do that this summer. Well, do they do it if Irving's going to leave in free agency? What are they going to do with Al Horford? Is he going to come back? But Brad Stevens came out after the game, and Brad Stevens has got nothing but acclaim since leaving Butler and taking over the Celtics through the tough years and then the improvement that they had through the years, all the way to the run to the 7th game of the Eastern Final last year against our Cavaliers. But he came out last night and said, I did a bad job coaching the team. They were a mess.
Yeah.
They were and watching them, they were just a mess.
I think we can all agree, and I've seen some people today say, well, maybe that trade doesn't look so bad, the Kyrie Irving to Boston trade. Well, yeah, the fact that the Cavs, with everything else they got out of it, they did get Colin Sexton out of it. But, I mean, I think we all can agree having LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love here for an extended period of time would have given them a much better chance for a championship. And it's just funny, Jimmy. Yesterday you had that happen to Kyrie, and then over in LA, we talked at the beginning of yesterday's show about the Ty Lue situation, him saying basically thanks but no thanks to the Lakers. I mean, there were reports, I think Stephen A. Smith from ESPN was the one who put it out there, saying that ownership of the Lakers are being pushed to trade LeBron James and get him out of Los Angeles, get him out of the Lakers. For both of these guys, what a mess. What an absolute mess.
Yeah, it is a mess. And I understand where Ty Lue's coming from. And never mind the money, okay? And whatever the amount of money you should be paid because you have a championship in your past. And I think that, so the total, I think they were offering $18 million. He wanted more. He wanted more years. So the money part is out there to be negotiated. But the fact of the matter, the good thing was that he wasn't going to have a staff dictated to him with Jason Kidd being pushed on him if he wasn't comfortable having Jason Kidd on the bench sitting alongside of him, because that's going to be a tough job whoever takes it. Because, I mean, if LeBron is not moved, that's going to be a tough job anyway. But then you add, a guy that you really weren't comfortable in the first place having the seat beside you, that's a bad situation, and don't walk into that situation, especially because the Cavs still owe him $10 million.
That's right.
I mean, it's not like he is, hurting right now. It's a mess. Yeah. I mean, it really is a mess. Topped off then by what happened late last night with Kevin Durant going down in Game 5 of the series with the Houston Rockets, and he's out now.
Right.
For an undetermined amount of time. He's not going to play coming up tomorrow night in Game 6, and his availability, if it goes 7, is unlikely to the highest degree. And the Warriors now are going to have to go back to the way they won the title, which is doable, when they first won it against the Cavs and how they lost one against the Cavs. And they were able to survive last night. But those are 3 big names Irving, LeBron, and now Kevin Durant.
Right.
They are really what's going to steer the ship of free agency come July. And now, I mean, everything's in flux. What would have happened if Durant had torn his Achilles?
I know.
Because at first, a lot of people, where he grabbed and how it happened, people are saying he might have torn his Achilles tendon. And I think a lot of his teammates thought that might be the case. It was a calf injury, but calf injuries just don't heal. But, I mean, what a night.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, it's the difference between knowing for sure that he's not back at all in this postseason, that certainly would affect, his free agent status this summer, to maybe if they get to the next round, he's available, or maybe if they get to the finals, he's available. I love this point that Robert gave to us. He goes, the magic that Kyrie experienced in Cleveland is gone. Ego stole it. I get that point.
Yeah.
I think there's some truth to that, and you could put that in maybe LeBron a little bit too. I mean, LeBron wanted to be out in Los Angeles, and maybe things will work out over his next couple of years. But if you had told me on May 9th that LeBron James and Kyrie Irving would both be watching the playoffs, I never would have believed that.
No, I thought that they both would certainly be in the playoffs, and I thought that Irving would be deep into the playoffs. I mean, they waltzed through Indiana. I mean, they just went right through Indiana in the opening round, and then won the first game against Milwaukee in Milwaukee by 22 points. And then it's almost like a switch. He flipped a switch to off.
Right.
And I just don't know what goes on with Kyrie Irving. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very, very difficult guy to read, and I think he likes being difficult to read. Being complex, what's he thinking? I mean, aside from the earth being flat and all of that stuff, what is he thinking basketball-wise? I mean, if he really goes to the Nets or the Knicks, is it going to be any better? He was a Boston Celtic, and he was a defending champion with the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing. The Celtics, you had a great coach. You've got tradition. It's one of the league's signature franchises. And he had plenty of talent around him.
Yeah.
I mean, he really could have tried to be the one and lead a team to the championship. And instead, I mean, what a mess! I never would have thought that was going to happen.
Right.
Last thought on this. Todd was wondering this. I don't know how serious the Lakers are. I know it's Stephen A. Smith reported about trading LeBron, but. Do you see any way that they would bail on him after a year and try to do something else?
Well, it's the power within the organization. Who has the power within the organization right now, and where is this report coming from? Who is in Jeannie Buss's ear saying that? Is it Rob Pelinka?
Right.
Is it Kurt Rambis? Is it Kurt Rambis telling his wife, who is the best friend of Jeannie Buss, and tells her basically, here's what they're saying about the team right now? It's a very, let me put it to you in a Cleveland sense. I mean, everybody was saying that the Browns were dysfunctional, right? I mean, that they were one of the worst run organizations, not in the NFL, but in all of sports, okay? And, you can bicker about that and you can say, well, 1-31, people must have been right. But, things have settled down and things have kind of smoothed out. But the Lakers right now look like they're a mess.
Right.
I mean, Magic Johnson calls a press conference before the last game, and he quits.
Right.
And it really didn't tell anybody that he was going to do it. He just did it on his own. I don't know, Dino, who has the power within the organization. I know there was scuttlebutt. There was tremendous disenchantment around the trading deadline when Anthony Davis was out there, and supposedly LeBron was kind of pulling the strings and saying, trade all these young guys.
Right.
Get rid of them all.
Right.
Let's get him here. And then it didn't happen, and then all these young guys are saying, hey, what's going on here? I mean, that is, you talk about the Celtics being dysfunctional. I mean, the Lakers are a mess.
Right. Both those franchises.
I don't know. I don't know who, who's calling the shots there. Is there going to be some meltdown in the Laker organization that they say, hey, listen, this super team idea isn't going to happen here, so let's not fake it anymore. Let's blow it up.
Right.
And by blowing it up, you would wonder, what would happen there.
Yeah. It's just
where would he go?
I don't know. I mean, people are like, well,
isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I mean, we're saying, where would he go?
If you were the Cavs, people are saying, would you trade, especially if you get the first overall pick in next week's lottery, would you part with presumably Zion Williamson to get LeBron James back here?
No, I would not.
I don't think I would
either.
either.
If you win the draft lot, no,
I don't think I would either. I know. I mean, I love LeBron, but
but he's 35 years old.
He's going to be 35.
35.
Yeah. It's. I'd rather. I want the young. I want the young team.
Well, the other thing, Dino, is the basketball side of this is LeBron, who has never had a major injury, but this year he had an injury. I mean, he had that injured groin that became a problem on Christmas Day and extended deep into the second half of the season, and they eventually shut him down because they were not a playoff team. Is the clock now, hitting on him at 35 years old, come his next birthday, is his body, which logged a ton of minutes.
Yes.
I mean, is his body going to start to let him down?
Especially that last year here in 2017, 2018, when he played every single game in 2018,
right.
And then carried the team and everything he had into the finals. Yeah. And you wonder if he's just now. It's you can't beat Mother Nature has a perfect record. I mean, you can't beat Mother Nature.
Right.
Speaking of LeBron, as we wrap up the show tonight, Odell Beckham came out today and said, hey, you know what I said to GQ magazine? Look, I want to be great, and I want the Browns to be great. I'm going to continue to work to help the Browns become great. I don't mean to disrespect the Patriots, but that's where my head was at when I said what I said. Carnival barkers need something to talk about. National pundits, whether you're talking about Stephen A. Smith, whether you're talking about Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, pick a network, whichever one. Stephen A. Smith made this statement, quote, about Beckham comparing the Browns to a potential Patriot dynasty. It's all LeBron's fault, said Smith. He spoiled them, meaning us Clevelanders and the fans. They miss him. They have absolutely nothing to root for. So since they have nothing to lean on except for expectations, so let's bloviate about it, let's elevate it, and get the fans percolating.
Well, I think they were percolating before the OBJ trade was made on March 12th. I mean, I think
they were percolating last fall.
Yeah, I think in December, I mean, it was a football crazy town again.
Yeah.
So I don't put any weight into that at all. I think everything needs to settle down. And when he gets to the football team, and he's here every day, or a day, but and he's catching the football.
Yes.
Okay, and he's doing what he's paid to do, because this is just all scuttlebutt right now. This is all talk.
Right.
It's all hype. I get that, it's hype, but I think we'll all just watch this thing, mature when he's out on the field and he's playing, and he is the wide receiver that he is, a great wide receiver and a great talent, and paired up with the talent that they have, it looks like some pretty exciting stuff. But had the trade not happened, I think people were pretty excited about them anyway.
I still think people would be talking playoffs about the Browns.
I mean, they're as excited about Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely.
Perhaps more so than OBJ. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah,
On an equal plateau?
I think so, yeah. I mean, because, again, it was the Raiders of the Lost Ark. We had to get a quarterback here. We've got the quarterback here, and now all of a sudden, with that is the excitement. I think just OBJ just kind of took it up to another stratosphere. I mean, but the whole point of it, I don't generally like to bring up, what other people say out of Cleveland with it, but it's just I thought it was interesting to tie LeBron and Beckham together, because that's all we have to lean on. And again, national people, they love to tear Cleveland down a little bit, because we are a passionate fan base that will react to such things.
Well, and I don't think we were spoiled. I mean, they won a championship.
Right.
Okay, and it was unbelievable the way they won it. But they didn't win another one.
No.
I mean, they went to the finals, and it was a great ride. I mean, it was a very, very enjoyable ride. I mean, at this time, for the last 4 years before, on this particular season, I mean, we were in the thick of it. We were getting ready for Eastern Conference Finals, and we were waiting for the Warriors. I mean, and it was great. But I mean, I don't think we were spoiled by it. The other thing is, I think that the town is going to its roots. It's going to what it's all about. It loves football. You can't condemn that.
Right.
And I don't think LeBron figures into that at all.
I don't either. And it's the fact that the Browns really haven't been relevant over a sustained period in this era of 24-hour sports and social media and things like that. The Browns haven't really been relevant. They've had 2 winning seasons.
Right.
So, this is new for everybody, including Carnival barkers.
Yeah.
Jimmy, have yourself a great weekend.
Thank you.
My
You
friend.
too.
All right, we'll be back with you next week. Thanks for watching the Donovan Live Postgame Show right here on WKYC's Facebook Live. around.
All right. Thank you, Dino.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay.